Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Last Son. This is Journey Through the Cornellverse. Today we take a look at our last company, ZEN Art of Wrestling. If this happens to be your first video, don't worry. I have a whole playlist of all the other companies of the Cornellverse that you can take a look at. While you're here, give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and without further ado, let's take a look at ZEN Art of Wrestling. New Zealand's first professional wrestling organization, ZEN Art of Wrestling mixes the cutting-edge athletic and technical aspects of lucha libre with a healthy dose of off-the-wall humor and zany characters. The emphasis is primarily on producing fun shows that the whole family can enjoy, and they do it well. But the quality of wrestling they produce should not be overlooked either. ZEN have gained a devoted cult following over the years and have a legitimate claim to being the best booked company in wrestling over the past decade or so. Nobody else does complex, multi-layered, interwoven storylines quite like them. You are a small company, you have 80,000 in the bank. Currently, you do not have any coverage, so you're not going to have a broadcaster for your events. Your events are a monthly schedule. So you have Way of the Dreamer, Way of the Scholar, Way of the Healer, Way of the Philosopher, Way of the Poet, Way of the Jester, Way of the Warrior. This is your season finale. Way of the Liar, Way of the Spy, Way of the Dead, Way of the Assassin, and Way of the Thief. So with it being July that you have your season finale, you're going to have 6 events to start the game off to build those storylines and make sure they're ready to pay off in July on Way of the Warrior. That's a good amount of time to develop characters, build the stories, and tell those stories the way you want. If we take a look at your product, it's called Lucha Fun Zen Style. The core product and the current product are both comic book Lucha Libre. It is just taking the Lucha Libre traditions and adding in the mythos and the visual language of comic books. This style is all about big dramatic rivalries played out in in-ring battles. You do have intergender wrestling. You do have technicos and rudos. They're loosely enforced. You have stables. You have managers. Spinal impact moves are not allowed. These settings will give you the following consequences. You have a special effect, which is a lucha de apuesta. It's a very big deal. It's taken very seriously. It's the match of wagers. Could be mask, could be hair. It's a wager of some sort, and it's a very big deal and a very traditional Lucha Libre effect. Your fans are going to expect events to be 80% matches, 20% angles. Fans will expect TV shows to be 70% matches, 30% angles. Your matches are going to be rated on a match quality versus popularity ratio of between 40 and 60, 55-45, depending on what gets the best rating. So popular workers are going to be a very important part of this product. Obviously, you still want guys and gals who can give you some match quality, but its popularity is kind of king. It's important in almost every product. It's kind of really important in these heavily story-based products. A good thing to note is the lucha-based style is easy on the workers, and it produces much less wear and tear on their bodies over time. Your fans will be upset by dangerous, controversial, or bloody match types. Matches less than 10 minutes will not be able to achieve world-class scores. You do have a few matches that will be penalized. Some angles like sex appeal angles will be limited and penalized. You'll get a large penalty if you don't have all workers assigned a gimmick. Fans will expect ongoing storylines. Each show will need at least one match aimed at storytelling, one match aimed as high spots. Using crazy bumps or stunt bumps will give boost to segments. Your comedy-based gimmicks can be used by stars, major stars, and obviously having someone unmasked is a big deal, and shaved bald will add heat to a segment. So all in all, it's kind of that basic Lucha Libre product. Get some popular workers that will get you some decent scores on your matches, and it shouldn't be too hard to book as long as you just follow these guidelines here. You take a look at your titles. You have the ZEN conceptual title, 29 current prestige. Current champion is Deathwatch Beetle. It's a championship that has no physical belt. ZEN's conceptual title began as a joke, but has actually turned into a fairly prestigious honor given the strong lineage of former holders. Deathwatch Beetle's reign has been going on for 49 days. No successful title defenses so far. You have the ZEN Harmony title, 26 current prestige. Your current champions, Laguna the Loyal, Man of War. These are the tag titles. The Harmony Championship has been held by many great tag teams over the years. It's often been used as a way to get young talent over. The reign's been going on 112 days, 2 successful title defenses so far. Then you have the ZEN Master, 44 current prestige. Current champion, Karg the Insidious. The ZEN Master title is the company's main title. It has a very strong lineage, especially for such a small group. Title defenses are usually given a lot of time and are often the match of the night. This reign has been going on for 21 days. No successful title defenses during that time. If we take a look at your booking team, you actually have 3 individuals already on the team, which is Halloween Night, Man of War, Sparky Sparks. Out of those guys, you only have basically 2 to 3 other choices here to add to the booking team. And it says some of them, at least one, Dustin Thane, may not be well suited to be on the booking team. But you should have the opportunity to build and get pretty good creative energy from this booking team and the options that you have here that will allow you to get those cranny finishes, by those ideas that will enhance your shows and your matches in the ways that you would like. Your inner circle, these roles are just given out. They can positively affect the workers' morale and sometimes lead to them becoming loyal to you over time. Choose carefully, because if you have to remove someone from a position, it will usually result in a morale penalty. Plus, it could end up hating you. It could cause problems in the back. We always make the joke of the WCW 97, 98 era having all those horrible, personalities in the back. Could be something like that. But you do actually have a couple of these roles filled. In locker room leaders, you have Classy Paul Massey, Devilfish. You have a senior referee in Stephen Yell, and a headsman trainer, Cyanide. All of those roles have been filled. The rest, though, are up to you to put whatever workers you would like to give positions of power to on your roster. You do have 31 workers on your roster, and if we filter down to those individuals who have a star quality of 70 or greater, you do have some individuals here who actually meet that criteria, and they look to have pretty decent skills so far. You have Buckminster Snark, Devilfish, Halloween Knight, Hez Jindal, Mr. Hyde. So you have quite a few range here of experience and potential good skills as well. Pretty decent amount of star power to work with as you start moving up the sizes in your companies. If we take a look at your major stars and stars perception, these are going to be your main eventers, your upper mid carders, the guys you're going to build the top part of the cards out of. You have Cyanide, you have Hallow Warped, Halloween Night, Karg the Insidious, Pink Spider, Pumpkin Jack, and Zero. A lot of good looking skills here, fundamentally, physically, primary, mental, all good. You have a mix of experience and youth and potential. One thing I would do if I was actually booking this company is I would read these bios and learn more about their character and the things they've done here in ZEN. It might give you inspiration for ideas of storylines and where you want to take that character, who you would like to push, things like that. If we take a look here at your mid card, these are going to be a lot of the guys that you're going to build a lot of the card around. It's going to take you from that opener to the main event level matches. You have Auckland Raider, Bruce Strange, Buckminster Snark, CWA, Deathwatch Beetle, Devilfish, Calliope Woodchuck, Killer Bee, Laguna the Loyal, Larone Slim, Man of War, Mr. Hyde, Rekka, Toady, Trevor Feather, and Vortex. A lot of good looking skills here too. There's some potential here to move some of these individuals into that main star, main event picture. I think the roster so far is looking really decent for the size of the company. I think you have quite a bit here to work with and to basically have that sandbox to play in and develop storylines that will be fun for you, fun to tell those stories. I think it potentially is looking to be a pretty fun company to play as. If we take a look at your unimportant perception level, these are going to be either workers who are very inexperienced, workers who are not popular yet, or workers who have kind of fallen down and are older and they've just kind of fallen down the roster. But you have Blue Flea, Booster Boy, Celestina Cherish, Crime Buster, Birdie Lloyd, Hez Jindal, the Malathorian, Urban Fox. Again, a lot of good looking skills here. A lot of good potential, especially with some star power. A lot of potential to move these people into your main event eventually. Move them into that mid card, strengthen the mid card. Figure out as you read their bios who you would like to push, what people you think storyline wise makes sense. Heck, if I was you guys, I would take actual stories from comic books if you're a big fan of comics. Take some of the storylines, translate them into wrestling. So, a lot of good potential here for this roster. I think it would be a pretty fun save to play as ZEN Art of Wrestling. If we take a look at your creative, you have franchise players of Pumpkin Jack, Karg the Insidious, Next Big Things of Vortex, Laguna the Loyal, Hot Prospects of Vortex as Jindal, Mr. Hyde, Killer Bee, Calliope Woodchuck. Talk the Talk, you have Halloween Night, Trevor Feather, Vortex, Calliope Woodchuck, Pink Spider. Your showstoppers, Devilfish, Vortex, Halloween Night, Pumpkin Jack, Buckminster Mark, Buckminster Snark. Your ring generals, Vortex, Pumpkin Jack, Halloween Night, Killer Bee, Cyanide. You have quite a few individuals who are considered hot. They have momentum currently on their side. And right now, this game has nobody that has that lack of momentum. You take a look at your stables. You have 3. You have Alien Armada. It's led by Karg in his ongoing attempt to stage a takeover of Earth. The Alien Armada is the latest and biggest threat to ZEN. Since reforming following Karg's return in 2021, the group has expanded its membership significantly and now has strength in numbers as well as a single-minded determination to destroy the Technicos. So it's led by Karg the Insidious, Mana War's your deputy, then you have members in Buckminster Snark, Laguna the Loyal, the Malothian, then you have Muscle, Death Watch Beetle, and a lackey and Toady. You have Fear, which is 4 extreme agents of the revolution. This was ZEN's first big Rudo stable, with Halloween Night, Cyanide, Massacre, and Necromancer as its lineup. It was reformed in 2021, this time as the Technico, or Earth Agents of Rebellion, to lead the fight back against the Alien Armada. The new Fear is an unlikely alliance of Pumpkin Jack, Pink Spider, Halloween Night, and Hallow Warped. That's kind of cool that they took a Rudo stable and turned it into a Technico stable, all because the Alien Armada invading. And you could tell stories with the basic enemy of my enemies type thing and bring new people into the stable just based on the fact that they're trying to fight the Alien Armada. You also have Skullduggery. This is Cyanide's Bruto group in ZEN, and it's been a staple of the company's storyline since 2018. Other than Cyanide himself, the lineup has changed quite frequently over the years, although Larone Slim and Rekka are usually involved in some capacity. So you have a leader in Cyanide, members of Larone Slim, Rekka, Trevor Feather, Vortex, and you have Guru Vishini as support. Your storylines. You have to have 2 rated hot or above to meet the demands of the fans. They're currently failing in this requirement when you start the game, and you may incur penalties. You're expected to advance 1 storyline per show. You have Devilfish versus Rekka, The Devilfish versus Skullduggery rivalry goes back a long way, but it's recently spun off into a solo rivalry between him and Rekka after Cyanide sent his enforcer to try and gut the fish. You have Feather versus Woodchuck. Skullduggery have been making life tough for Calliope Woodchuck for quite a while, but her torment in chief is definitely Trevor Feather. She's now looking to wipe the annoying smile off his face. Then you have next phase. Kark's alien armada has successfully completed phase 1 of the invasion by taking control of every ZEN title. Now it's on to the second phase of the master plan, eliminate fear. So as you see, this is a huge storyline with a ton of pieces that you could potentially use to advance these storylines. Your teams, you have Alien Fleet, Alien Vanguard, Casual Violence, Ferdy and the Flea, the Ghost Hunters, and the October Uprising. So quite a mix of teams, some more experienced than others. I think you have chances to potentially put together new teams, especially if you bring new workers in to the company, put them together, see if they have any chemistry. And if they do, then you have a new team that you can potentially throw into the tag team division. You're not going to have a child company. You're not going to have a developmental. And you don't have a training facility. You currently have 0 relationships with anybody else. While that could be a good thing, it also can be a bad thing, because if you had a relationship with somebody, they could potentially send you developmental workers. Maybe EILL will reach out and offer to send young luchadors your way. Who knows? But if you have booked ZEN Art of Wrestling before, let me know what you've done down in the comments. Tell me some tips and tricks. What storylines did you like? Do you have a favorite storyline? While you're there, leave the video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. You guys have been really awesome. I've grown the channel quite a bit since TEW IX have come out. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for coming with me on this journey through the Cornellverse. This is the last company. But like I said, we have a playlist of every other company. There's some other videos on the Cornellverse I'm thinking about doing. Potentially looking at like a young worker type of video. Potentially looking at good signings, budget signings, things like that to help you in your saves. So stay and keep a lookout for those. We do have right now Queens of American Wrestling and Coastal Zone Championship Wrestling saves going on. So please support those. I'm Last Son. This has been Journey Through the Cornellverse. And today we took a look at ZEN Art of Wrestling. Once again, I want to thank you for coming with me on this journey. But keep playing, stay awesome, and I'll see you in our next video.